Hello, in this video we're going to cover lesson 5.3 in Sprites, and this is React to Collision Demo 1 or Instruction 1. Basically, this is the first of the purple ones, and this one is going to be a little bit lengthy. We're going to look at some slides so that we understand exactly what it is we are trying to accomplish here and the different variables and the different words and vocabulary that we need to understand so that we can react to collisions. So let's look at the slides first, and then we'll go over and code some of this. Now, when we talk about sprite collision, there's a couple different things we need to think about. Collision is one of those. That's obviously where two things hit one another. And the other part is rect collision or rectangle collision. And if you think about what that means, remember, every sprite is actually an image inside of a rectangle, and that's why when we create the sprite designation, when we draw it, we have the numbers that represent the top left corner of that rectangle. So the rectangle collision would refer to any time the edges of that rectangle collide, whereas a point collision would be a specific point, like you might say the centers of two different sprites when they collide or something like that. Or you could even have a boundary collision. So like if something gets to the specific X or Y axis, then it would trigger whatever because it would collide. Now, for the purposes of Python and Pygame, a collision is really when any two objects overlap, or they're going to overlap, or when they start to overlap on the screen. And here are some obvious ones. We've got the kitty cat and the puffin, and the kitty cat here and the puffin and the second one are clearly colliding. Now, we don't really know where the XY axis is, where the top left corner. It's probably right about here for the puffin. So just eyeballing these, they probably aren't colliding on their rectangles. These ones here on the right side definitely are colliding. And so like we stated earlier, a rect collision is when two rectangles, or when the rectangles around two sprites overlap. And this one would be, this is the rectangle around the kitty cat. This is the rectangle around, it looks like a flower garden. So right now, they are not overlapping. And remember, we don't actually see these lines. These lines are here, and they are, in terms of the code, they are actually present, but they're not something that's visible to the user. And so when the kitty cat moves towards the flower bed, if we saw this without the boundaries, which is how we would normally see it, we wouldn't see the kitty cat actually colliding with the flower bed. It wouldn't look to us like that's happening. But it would be in terms of the rectangle or the rect collision. And that's an important thing to consider, because if you're trying to get something to look a certain way, if you wanted the kitty cat to look like it's actually touching the flower bed, this would not really work so well, because the user would be like, well, this is a glitch. It's clearly not touching the flower bed, yet it had a reaction, a response based on a collision. So that's why it's important to understand what a rect collision is as opposed to a point collision. Now, the syntax for a rect collision, and we're going to get more into this in the code, is pygame.sprite.collide_rects, and that would be a lowercase r there. And then the arguments are S1 and S2, so sprite1 and sprite2. So we're basically saying that if these collide, then we can make something happen. And now, of course, a point collision, like we had stated, is when a single point is over a sprite. And this would be a much more specific sort of a collision. So in this example with the kitty cat, both of these points are within the rectangle of the sprite, and so whatever this point is and whatever this point is, then they would be colliding with this kitty cat. Now again, the one on the right is colliding with the tail. That point is on the tail. The one point here on the left, it still doesn't look like it's actually touching the kitty cat, but because it's in the kitty cat's rectangle, this point would be colliding with the kitty cat. And the syntax for a point collision is to create what we call a collide point, and that's actually just by saying sprite.rect, that's a lowercase r, .collide point. That's all one word, all lowercase, and then the arguments are the x and the y. So the x and the y axis of the actual point, that specific point. At that point, that's where we would have a collision point. Let's take a minute to look at some code, and we're going to implement these, and we should get a better idea of how they work when we talk about this in real Pygame code. And so here's my big code here, and I've got all my stuff here. I've got a random import as well. I've got my clock, I've got my window, I've got my background. I've got some image sheets and some sprites, my drawing thing. I'm moving the wizard. All these different things are happening. So if I run this code, then I got a wizard, and the wizard just kind of moves on his own. He's kind of like a weird motion here, and we've got this flying creature right here. But nothing happens when they collide. So notice they collide somewhere right in here. Remember, we'd have to figure out where this rectangle is to make it collide. But that's basically how it is. So let's add some collision points. We'll do a rect, and we'll do a collision point, and then we'll see how all of those behave. And now my current code, what I have, of course, is a background. Then I've got a wizard that's moving along, and then I have a dragon that's kind of just flying there, kind of moving up and down and everything. And then I have the speed here of the wizard to make him move. And then I have an if. So if the wizard.center is greater than 1018, then set the wizard.center x at 0. And what this does, as you know, is it puts the wizard back on the left side and makes him go across. But I need to make a change here so that instead of waiting till he gets to the right side, rather the right side of the window, that what's going to happen is when he hits the actual dragon, he's going to go ahead and go across. So the line that I need to change right here is line 28. Right now it's if wizard.center is center_x is greater than 1018. So instead, let's change this, and we're going to say if pygame.sprite.collide_rect, and then my arguments in this one are going to be wizard, comma, dragon. Because remember, it's S1, S2, or the sprite 1 and sprite 2. So if sprite 1 and basically for either one of these, if the rectangles of either one of these collide, then we're going to go ahead and change it. So in this case, if either one of these collide, and I got to spell sprite right, if either one of these rectangles collide, then it should put the center x of wizard back over to 0. So let's run this code and see if that works. Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and run the code, and wizard's moving along, and look, he goes and then he gets too close to the dragon. He's hitting the dragon rectangle, and he ends up going back to 0. So that first one worked. And you can see how this can be applicable. You just have to know where your rectangle boundaries are going to be, and then when to utilize them, and then what to do when the rectangle boundaries are crossing. Now let's add a point collision, and this time what we're going to do is add a point collision that is going to be the same as the mouse position. So to get the mouse position, remember we just do our XY variable to get the mouse position. So on that, let's go down to line 30, and I'm going to kind of do a thing. So I'm 31 on mine, but basically right above where I update the time for the dragon, I'm going to do x comma y equals pygame.mouse.get_POS, and then my parentheses. So that's going to give me my point. That's the point that I'm going to use to make sure that the wizard turns around. And for this one, I'm going to use the dragon as my example. So right underneath the x and y, I'm going to make an if conditional. I'm going to say if dragon.rect.collide, spell that right, point, and then x comma y, which is actually the x and y axis. Then I'm going to do a colon, and on this one here, because the dragon update time is referring to the dragon, I'm going to indent this dragon.update time. So it needs to be like that. So now the dragon's going to respond to my collide point, and then the wizard will respond just to wherever the dragon is. And it's not always obvious what's going to happen when we run this, but if you think about it, we know the wizard moves across from left to right, and then he gets to now the rectangle that is the dragon, and he goes back to 0. We know that. But what we did here is we made a change, an if conditional that says that if dragon.rect collide point is xy, or where the mouse is, so if the mouse goes over the dragon is what we're saying. If the mouse point goes over the dragon, then we're going to update the time. And remember, the dragon.update then the time, that's what actually allows the motion to occur. That's what allows the animation to continue. So essentially, the dragon should stay still unless we have the mouse over it. And what we're doing here doesn't affect the wizard at all. So let's run this and see if that works. So I do this, wizard's going, and he will be knocked out by the dragon. But notice the dragon is just staying still. So if I move my cursor over the dragon, then he moves, because any place where my cursor is over the dragon rectangle, so like that's outside of the rectangle and that's inside of the rectangle, even though I'm not actually touching the dragon, it's still inside the dragon rectangle, and that makes him move up and down. So if your dragon is responding to the X and Y of your mouse position and your wizard is turning around when he hits the dragon rectangle, then you did this one correctly, and you can go ahead and turn it in.